Alright guys, welcome back. It's your man Jay Will. So Tuesday's podcast is here. Today is Tuesday, right? Yeah, it's Tuesday. Have to make sure. It's November 14th and it's Tuesday's podcast live with your man Jay Will. Thanks for everybody that's going to take time to join in. Let me share this out on social media like I always do. Let's go out of here and let's get it shared out on social media. Let's share this thing out. Let's share it out in the right place. So, let's see here. How's everybody doing tonight? Tuesday's podcast. I love doing these. I think they're a lot of fun. And I just can't stress enough the support that you guys give is why I keep going. Tonight's podcast will be very interesting. Yes, basically you get a voice. At least you get a voice for the time that you're spending with me for the live podcast. Why do we do it? That's the topic. You've got a favorite company that you enjoy. Why do you support them? Why do you keep going back? I know that some people support their favorite companies because of a previous experience, and that will be one of the reasons I go back to a company. That will be a reason that I keep supporting a company. Like, hey, that last phone I bought was sweet, so maybe I'll try it again. Or that computer was really good, so you know what? I'll do it again. But I think that at this point in the game, everybody now who's supporting a company, some people might be a little too serious in supporting those companies, and they might be getting a little too far gone. And I say that to say the way you're supporting. So, you might say, oh, Jay, you're always trying to be positive. Well, what's wrong with that? What's wrong with being positive? And we can call out faults and flaws on things, but there's really not a need to insult people in the process of trying to stake your claim to prove that this is somebody that this is a company that I'm going to support. The way I think that's the issue that I have with the way a lot of people are supporting their favorite companies. It's the way they're doing it. It's the way that they're making it a point to get their point across. It's almost like if you don't do what I want you to do, or if you don't like what I like, you're wrong. You're wrong. So support. I think I support. I've actually supported companies for a very long time. Even when people thought they were failing, I still supported them. Because what they thought. I respect their opinions, but I have my own opinion. I have my own mind on what I want to support and what I want to spend my money on. So that's the way I looked at that. I didn't look at it as though, this is a trend that's happening and I'm just going to jump on the bandwagon with everybody else. I looked at it as though I'm going to willingly give up my funds for this. I'm going to continue to invest in this, and I'm going to do so knowing that this is going to be the outcome of this, or this is what I'm expecting to be the outcome. So if you're just joining in, it's Tuesday's podcast, and it's man Jay Will. Let me see, I think got some chat going off over here. Total Tech is here. What's going on, TK? Just about to check out your video, man. I clicked on it, but I was like, oh snap, I got to do the podcast on the iPhone 10. I'm thinking, and I'm glad he just put out that video on the iPhone 10. If you don't know who TK is, come on. Total Tech, he's been at it a little bit. I don't know how long he's been doing it. I've been doing this for about maybe 12 years or so, but I didn't take it serious. And I really don't know how long TK's been doing it, but he's been doing it long enough, at least 5 years or so, or more. And he just dropped a video on the iPhone 10 days later. I actually was working on something for my 2-week, and I saw yours drop on Twitter a few minutes ago, and I thought, man, I got to get this podcast going. My Project 13 is here. And shout out to all the people. First of all, I want to also thank, before we get going deep into this podcast, special thank you to the people who I call them the replay crew. I've always referred to people who watch afterwards, that's a good thing. I mean, I started the podcast so people will have the ability to just listen and drive, or or just listen and work, or just listen and cook. That is the purpose of me starting the podcast, because everybody doesn't have YouTube Red. Everybody doesn't have a device where you can minimize and play YouTube in the background. So that's really what it's about. More importantly, I think a podcast is not better than a live stream, but I think it's actually a little bit more entertaining, even though it's kind of more like a radio broadcast. I'm still kind of entertained more, it seems like, with a podcast. The interaction is better, just about. TK, 6 years. Okay, TK's been on YouTube for 6 years, or doing it seriously for 6 years. Seems like it'll be longer than that. I thought it would be like 10 years, but hey to everybody that's here. I appreciate you joining in. Chris, I see you guys. Brad, all the regulars are chopping in, but thank you to the people that actually replay the podcast, because that's what it's for. I leave my podcast open to download. You can download them and replay them later. It's just what it's about. But I think a podcast is becoming more entertaining for some reason. I don't know what it is. I just like doing the podcast, and I might bump it up. I was going to do a podcast Saturday, so I apologize for that, but just couldn't get things in order. Had too much stuff going on. Daughter had a game, just a bunch of stuff. So I just had too much going on. But I'm back. It's Tuesday already of the next week. I can't believe that. But thank you to the replay crew that come on board and stop by when they can for 5 minutes. But these podcasts are open for you to download and listen to later, or just stream at a later date. And that's what it's about. But why do we do it? That's the topic of today's podcast. Why do we continue to support the OEMs that we choose to support? And TK just dropped his iPhone 10 video, and I didn't see. I just got caught a portion at the beginning, but I'm getting ready to. I'll hit that up after the podcast. But the iPhone is one that I really would like to talk about. The Galaxy Note is because, let's be real here. As much as we like all these other phones, the internet is buzzing about these two phones, the iPhone 10 and the Galaxy Note 8. See it for what it is. That's what's happening. Even though we have a ton of other phones that are just as good and might even be better in several areas, that's the buzz. That's the child of great marketing. Both of those companies have fantastic marketing, and they will do. I actually think that Samsung does a little bit more marketing than Apple, and they do I think Samsung does a little bit more work than Apple when it comes to their marketing. Samsung's latest commercial is hilarious, man. Oh my gosh, the guy standing in line with his headline shaped like the notch in the iPhone 10 is freaking hilarious. If you haven't seen that, you gotta hit up Samsung's page and check that out. It's actually on TV also. I've seen it on TV multiple times. It's hilarious. And all of Apple's work, Apple takes a different approach to their marketing, and so I think that's why Apple attracts a certain kind of crowd. Now, that's just my opinion about that. Apple, I've rarely seen them take shots at other companies when it comes to cell phones. I've only seen that back with Mac and PC. And if you guys remember those old computer commercials, if you're old enough, you remember, how they used to do those old computer commercials. And TK's talking about the iPhone 10 in the comments here. I really feel like I want to know why people support the same OEMs. That's what I want to know. What's driving you back to supporting the same OEM? And I can speak for me. And maybe I'll take phone calls. Maybe I'll take some phone calls. That might be a good idea. But I can tell you why I continue to buy Apple computers over Windows computers. I can tell you why I like stock Android over a skin. I can tell you all those things. And it's very simple. I've talked about it before. I buy Apple computers because I feel like I'm going to have this thing for like 10 years and I don't have to worry about doing anything. I'm going to consistently get upgrades. Just like, their phone, it's going to consistently get an upgrade and update. And, yes, it's very expensive. But a lot of people's response to that is, oh, you're stupid. You don't know how to build a computer. I went to college for micro applications. I also know how to build computers because I've built them for years. So it has nothing to do with anything. Those are just people assuming. Those are just people who hate Apple for whatever reason. And I think the reputation that Apple has built up with a certain crowd is that they're snobs. I'm not a snob, though, and I buy Apple products. Yeah, and I'm going to read some comments here. I had to put my glasses on just so you know. I had to get close. Let me move the microphone just a little bit because I don't want to sound too loud. But I'm going to read a comment from TK. He said, people need to stop being brand loyal and go with the best hardware. And so, really, when you think about that, really, ultimately, that's what you're paying for after everything is said and done. You're not just doing that with Apple. You're doing that with Samsung, LG, because these guys are pretty much producing the same software. You're just building hardware. And yeah, and TK said also the best experience. You know, and that's ultimately what people are doing. I think the numbers speak for themselves in a lot of situations, or the way people are showing how much they like products. Because in reality, folks, the iPhone 10, the iPhone 8, all those iPhones that they have, and all those Galaxy phones that they have, those things are dominating the market. But they're not selling like a gazillion compared to all the prepaids. Some people don't know about the prepaid game. If I had an emergency, I can walk into a gas station, get a prepaid phone, activate it, start using it, and then throw it away if I needed to. I can't do that with an iPhone because it costs too much. And I think when you see a lot of tech reviewers reviewing, you got to remember we're just tech reviewers. We're doing it because we like technology, and with that comes the perks of being able to get some of these really expensive phones that I will say are very premium. The iPhone 10 is a premium phone, man. It has much better hardware, I think, than the Samsung Galaxy Note 8. But that's just my opinion. I'm not saying the iPhone 10 is better than the Galaxy Note 8. Of course not. But the hardware, I think, is better. But I feel like the prepaid game gets overlooked. But for those who are in the know, prepaid phones sell a boatload. They sell a lot of prepaid phones. There's loyalists to prepaid phones. There's people who are loyal not just to a brand. I know. All right, so some people might say trap phone. I know you've heard people say that's a good trap phone right there. That terminology, unfortunately, is related to prepaid phones that are very cheap and disposable. And I don't have trap phones. Just before you ask, I don't roll like that. But no disrespect to people that do. That's your thing. Do your thing. I'm not into that. But I would say that if I was in an emergency, I could just walk into a gas station, buy a prepaid phone, activate it right there on the phone, pay $5 from a prepaid card, and I got service. You can't do that, or you wouldn't want to do that with other phones. The prepaid game is big, and there's a lot of people that are loyal to the prepaid game. But when it comes to brand loyalty, some people, and that's the issue I have with some people, or the way some people relate things is, if you like something, great. Don't try to make everybody else like it, though. That's a problem that I have with some brand loyalists. They want everybody to like what they like, and it shows. TK said, aka food stamp phone. It shows. He's right. It shows when a person starts to talk about when they don't. It's like people don't know how to express that they like something without insulting someone else. And again, that's not what this podcast is about. I just wanted to know, why do you support the same company? I pretty much support, because I'm doing reviews, I'm pretty much supporting all of the companies. Like, some people say, well, I thought you said you weren't going to get the iPhone 10. I'm like, never said I wasn't getting the iPhone 10. As a matter of fact, I said on multiple occasions I was buying a couple of them, which I did. So I don't understand that. But those are passerbys who watch one video maybe. Some people say, I thought you wasn't getting the Galaxy Note. I thought you wasn't getting the S8. I think people's loyalty to brands, and first thing, the one thing also that comes is, if you're loyal to just one brand, you're missing out on a whole bunch of stuff. But that's just what I think. I'm not saying I'm right. I'm just saying a phone reviewer, a tech reviewer will tell you, man, that was a sweet little phone, and there's a few tech reviewers in here, There's people in here that review phones, and you've all got that phone that costs $100 and you know it was good. You know what I'm saying? and not just tech reviewers, the average consumers. You've gotten that phone for $600 and you got that phone for $100, and you thought, man, if I'd have known about this $100 phone first, I wouldn't even bought this $600 phone. as far tech reviewers might say, man, this is actually a really good phone for $100. People who are just stuck on one brand or one thing, they are kind of missing out, man. I mean, it's not up for us to tell them that they have to switch. And when it comes to support, I think a lot of people support the same companies for their own personal reasons. It's okay to be loyal to a brand, but in the tech community, that loyalty has become very disrespectful. It's become so disrespectful, it's unrealistic. You know, you have people so loyal to one brand or purchasing one brand that they'll just tell everybody, F you, or you're a B, and you're stupid, because, like, when I posted a video saying I ditched my iPad Pro for the Galaxy Tab S3. Well, some people watched that one video and they didn't even watch. They just looked at the title and said, "Oh, you stupid so-and-so, you're going to regret it." But if they would look in the description and in the title, they can clearly see updated, went back to an iPad Pro. But some people don't pay attention. They're so loyal to just what's right at the tip of their nose, they don't know how to articulate or accept that other people might like something different. And I think TK was saying earlier about hardware, you know, really that's all we're paying for. Like the Essential phone. Every group is now OnePlus. And again, I pose the question, why do you keep supporting the same company? That's not like in a derogatory way. That's just me questioning or curious. Maybe I can start doing that. Maybe I can become like Albert. Shout out to Albert. He's probably not in here yet, but shout out to Albert. He is loyal OnePlus. I mean, he's strictly OnePlus. LaShawn is strictly Pixel. Shout out to LaShawn M. Strictly Pixel. You know? Let me read some comments down in here. Yeah, Brad says some of the fans are horrible. My Project 13 says, you know, personal choice. That's respect. Sean says Apple and Samsung are winning in America. Everyone will always bandwagon the winner's tip. You know, hey, that's possible. What's going on, Cliff? I see you. So, and Brett says, I think it's great when you can find a cheap phone. You know, and cheap doesn't always mean quality. You know what I'm saying? So it's more of a matter of when a person now is trying to define how they feel. I've learned a couple of things. One, I'm older than most of the people that are in the tech communities that I hang in, or were like when I want to go to events and stuff like that. I've learned that we're from all different generations. We all have different beliefs. We're all raised differently. And all those things play a part on how you articulate your feelings. And so when it comes to technology, people are articulating their feelings in just the craziest ways. They feel like they have to call you an iSheep. They feel like they have to call you I don't know what they call Samsung users or that are loyal to Samsung. But everybody has all these names. And in reality, as soon as they're pointing the old school right here, if you point one finger out, how many is pointing back at you? You see, so I don't think the people today basically have learned how to articulate that they like something without insulting someone else. And hey, Grant's here. Jeff is here. What's going on? Oh yeah, shout out to pause break real quick. TK talked about he's talking about the security breach. Yeah, I did see that, and that's unfortunate. Maybe we can cover that in this podcast somewhere. But yeah, you're right. There was a huge, and some people are saying that they did that intentionally. You know, some people are feeling like they did that on purpose. I don't know, man. I don't know. But I tell you what, why do you follow the brand that you like? Everybody has that one brand, and some people might think on the surface, oh, Jay's in love with Samsung and Apple, and I've said it a gazillion times. BlackBerry OS and WebOS are the ones that I'm faithfully loyal to. I'm loyal to them. I've made videos about them, begging them to bring another BBOS device, and they're not gonna, I get slammed for those videos, but I don't care. I'm loyal to BlackBerry like that. I've been using BlackBerry since the first BlackBerry. You know, like the current generation have been using using iPhone since the first iPhone. So it comes down to how you are going to tell everybody that if you had to have just that one device right now from your favorite OEM, what would it be? For me, it would be the BlackBerry Passport Silver Edition. That's what it would be for me. It wouldn't be the current phones. It wouldn't be the current ones with Android, because I don't feel like those are BlackBerries. So that's just me. If I had to take a WebOS device, it would be the Palm Pre 3, the one that went to AT&T and never released. It was the one with the bigger screen and the slide-out keyboard. WebOS was fantastic to me. WebOS. Let me read some comments. There's a lot of people jumping in. Shout out to Mark. I see Mark has joined finally. Let me see here. I'm a fan of tech, period. Chris said, okay, I'm going to go back and read down some of these comments here. They're going kind of fast. I tried LG. This is Chris. Shout out to Chris. I tried LG and the ZTE, but I always seem to go back to Samsung. It's the camera. It's the beautiful screens. And with that, Samsung is getting pretty much every option for Samsung phones. And he's right. Samsung phones come at a premium price, but they are giving you a lot. Cliff says, I'm a fan of tech, period, and I'm not brand loyal at all. I'd rather just enjoy tech. That's right. That's right. Grant says he buys everything, and I know it. I see you, man. Man. Yeah, I miss BlackBerry OS. And my Project 13 says he's slowly becoming a Motorola/Lenovo fan. Yeah, TK just released a video on the BlackBerry Passport. I see you, TK. You're not slipping those under the rug to me. He released a couple of videos recent, like just right before this podcast started, on the Passport and the iPhone 10. So I think when it comes to you expressing what you like, and I see Forbes Tech is here. Shout out to Forbes Tech. I was watching Forbes Tech's 3-hour stream, and I was like, wow, these guys are going in over here. I was listening. I think the funniest thing that I heard you and BG Tech Life say, and I'm not trying to put you on blast. You know me. I don't try to front on people like that. But I think the funniest thing that, and the funniest thing you guys said was something about, I got a real job. I don't worry about demonetization. I thought that was hilarious, because I was like, well, why are they saying this? What is the meaning of this? But I'm sure there was some inside joke or something like that. But I thought that was funny. I just laughed along. You guys went for over 3 hours, and applaud you for doing that. I could never do a stream for 3 hours. I think I would pass out. The Note 8 is a house favorite. Yeah, Anthony says his wife loves the Note 8. I use the Note 8 daily. I've actually been using the Note 8. I decided now I don't like to use my spotlights, my studio lights, but I found that if I use my studio lights when recording with the Note 8, it actually makes it look so good. So I'm loyal to BlackBerry. I'm going to stay loyal to BlackBerry. If they were to release another BlackBerry OS device, I would be the first one in line. That's a phone I would stand in line for. But the chances of that happening are like 1 in 200,000. Probably just won't happen. How you doing, Ronald? See you back in. Hello to all the regulars. For those that are just joining us, Tuesday night podcast. It's your man Jay Will. We're talking about it's simple tonight. Just wondering why you continue to support the brand you support. We all have a favorite brand. We all have a brand that we feel like has done us right. Who it doesn't matter what everybody else thinks. We find that it is suitable for all of our needs. Like for me with BlackBerry, simple things like playing a YouTube video in the background without having to pay for YouTube Red, that's a plus. BlackBerry has been doing that for a while. Now, what the flip side of that is, there's no BlackBerry application for YouTube. That's a downside. That's a downside. So I'll read a question from Chris here. Chris says, what do you think about the Note series doing something more with the S Pen, like maybe holding the S Pen and taking a photo or starting a video or push the pen button? I think the Note line, and I said it before, I said something like, oh, they should make a Galaxy Note 8 Mini, and people said, oh, Jay, you stupid. I'm like, man, I can't just have an idea? It's just an idea, man. I think for me that would be great. Because reality, the Note 8 is a big phone. But I think the only thing, let me get my S Pen out. The Note 8 is a fantastic phone. Let's be clear about that. However, I see what Chris is getting at. It's a great phone, but Is it really limitless like all the Note fans keep bragging about? So many Note fans keep telling me I'm wrong because I say the Note 8 is not the number one device for me in 2017. Some Note fans articulate very poorly. So, I'm holding the Note 8 and it's a great phone. It does offer a ton of features, let's be honest. However, it comes at a hefty price tag. So it's not, how do I say it? You're not the smartest person on earth because you spent $1,000 on the Galaxy Note 8 and it has a lot of features. That is an issue I have with some quote unquote, some Galaxy Note 8 owners. They frequently tell me, and other people, not just me, other people in the car, I read everywhere, not just my videos, everywhere. They tell people they're wrong for liking any other phone but the Galaxy Note 8, which is the silliest thing in the world. It is the silliest thing in the world. Galaxy Note 8 is fantastic. I asked and begged the same question of loyalists to the Galaxy Note line, which, remember, I'm one too. They seem to forget that I've purchased every Galaxy Note. I'm a loyalist to it, but it's not my first choice if I had to choose between that and a BlackBerry. But that's just me. But I don't understand the logic behind Galaxy Note owners thinking that they're... And again, this isn't to every Galaxy Note owner. This isn't to take a shot at anybody. It's not for a battle. I'm not saying I'm going to punk out or anything like that, but I'm going to say what I have to say. But the reality is, most people don't care why another person thinks a phone is good. But somehow, some Galaxy Note owners that visit my videos try to convince me that I'm wrong, I'm stupid, I shouldn't have bought the iPhone, I should be using my Galaxy Note 8, which I do every day. The U11 is not the best phone on the market. The Xiaomi is not that. I don't understand that way of thinking. It's almost like saying you don't have an opinion, your opinion is null and void, and you're going to believe what I want you to believe. I'm right, you're wrong. And again, that terminology or that way of thinking is completely way off. So that's why I posed the question, what makes you think that you're right? Or why is it you're so right for loving the iPhone SE or loving the LG V30? What makes you so right for loving those things? Why is it that I can't love a phone that costs $99 more than your phone that costs $200 or your phone that costs $500? It's not realistic for a person to think that way. And unfortunately, a lot of people are tough over the internet. You know, they can be whoever they want to be over the internet. That's just how it is. And that's just kind of how let me read some of these comments here. There's a lot of comments popped up. I think the S Pen is not at its full potential, I would say. Man, these comments are speeding up. Let me go back down here. Do you see the Note coming in an end of coming to an end? The Note, okay, so my project asked, do I see the Note ever ending? Oh no. The Note line is selling very well. It's a popular phone amongst a niche crowd. Yeah. If Samsung, this is from Jeff, if Samsung can get their software to run smooth and steady, well, I haven't had any problems. I'll admit, I haven't had any problems with my Galaxy Note 8. I just haven't had any yet. But the track record of Samsung's devices slowing down over time, that remains to be seen. So we're going to have to keep the Note for a year and see and revisit. You know what I'm saying? The Note 8 is a great phone, Sean says. But as far as an all-around arounder, it's not that device. And that's his opinion. I feel like it's a well-rounded phone, but there are some things about it that are just not within, I would say, to make it the complete phone. Only argument I think a lot of Galaxy Note 8 owners have said is that, it can do this, it can do that. But in reality, the world is not doing all those things. The world is just making phone calls, texting, getting on social media. Let me see here. Cliff says, it's kind of funny. We don't all use our phones the same way. That's exact. I just said that. Exactly. Just like cars. We don't all drive the same way. That's 100% correct. 100% correct. $1,000 for the Note is not worth it. So a thing about the iPhone 10 also. So before I talk about the iPhone 10, Chris says, does the notch bother you at all, Jay, on the iPhone? Absolutely not. I don't even notice it. There's applications out there that say, oh, hey, you can remove the notch. Listen, going into the phone ahead of time, I knew. Just like people used to ask me, does the fingerprint reader on the Galaxy Note 8 bother me? Not anymore. Because you know what I did? I found a workaround. I didn't wait for somebody to build an application or do all this stuff. I just use the iris scanner. That's it. Or I use a pen. That's it. So with the iPhone 10, it doesn't bother me. I don't even notice that it's there, to be honest, man. It's not something it's not even there. No phone is worth $1,000. But if I had to spend $1,000, well, okay, I already did, but the Note and the iPhone 10 will be the only phones I spend $1,000 on. Especially the iPhone 10, because the iPhone 10 has very nice hardware. The Essential phone has better hardware, but again, that loyalist, that reputation that comes about. Essential is a new company, so they don't have the backing of the people yet. Brad says, isn't the notch part of the whole path? Hey, Susan's here, guys. Say hello to Susan, everyone. Again, if you're just joining in, this is Tuesday's podcast, and I just posed the question of why do people support the brand that they like the most? You guys know that BlackBerry is my favorite brand. I think I will probably always love BlackBerry operating system. BlackBerry OS, when it was BlackBerry, not this Android mixture. I don't really follow that too well. But I just posed the question, why is it that you follow the brand you follow? Some more answers. Unless it's a Virtu. Oh, yeah. Okay, so TK is talking about a phone that a lot of people probably don't even know about. It's Virtu. It's VERTU. They've actually been making phones for years, but their phones cost upwards of 10 grand sometimes, man. 50 grand. I've seen some stuff with them, and some people will say that it's worth it because their phones are hand stitched like cars, like real leather stitched into the phone. It's crazy, man. And they're charging a premium price tag, but the operating system is just Android. So you have to ask, a person would ask themselves, is it really worth it? It depends on the person. So when a person says it's not worth it, you really can't tell that person you're wrong. It is worth it. Because there's a lot, and it's just so strange, man. But I only get this from Galaxy Note 8 owners. They all try to convince me that the iPhone is stupid and the Galaxy Note 8 is the best phone on the market. I don't know why that is. Every video, I could post a video saying that the Note 8 is a fabulous device, but then in that same video, I can tell them, hey, well, in my opinion, no phone is worth $1,000, and this is pretty much an S8 Plus on steroids. That still isn't good enough. They're gonna convince me, or try to convince me, that the Note 8 is the best phone in the world. I've had people just cursing me out in comments saying you're stupid, so and so. You need to get on board. The Note 8, like we're all making money or something. The fight to express how you feel about what you think is good or what's your favorite is becoming redundant. It's becoming immature. It's becoming very silly. It's becoming irrelevant. Because we all have the power to do one thing. We don't like something, turn it off. We don't like something, change the channel. But and I guess it is about loyalty. I mean, the way I pose the question is, why do you continue to do what you do with this one brand that you love? But really, I guess I was asking, why are you loyal to one brand? Or why are you loyal to who you think you need to be loyal to? And everybody's answer, like Cliff said, it's going to be different. Everybody drives different. Everybody reads different. Everybody can see different. Everybody talks different. Everybody has emotionally expressed themselves different. But I guess people nowadays, when you hit the internet, you can become a super thug. You can be whoever you want to be, or you can become a nerd, or you can become a professor, or you can become whoever you want to be, and your word is bond. That's if you're from the East Coast. Your word is bond. That's just how it goes with some people. That's how it goes with some people. And I think it's probably always going to be that way, depending on who the people are in their life, who they are, and how they've learned how to. And I hate it. Probably sounds like, man, Jay, you try to be, you're old, man. I'm just. You get to a certain point in your life and you realize there's no point in arguing. That's what it is. Let me read some comments that are kicking in here. Keyboard gangsters. Yep. You said it best, TK. Keyboard gangsters. Not true with the internet, though, Jay. Everybody is the toughest in the world and talks a lot of game in front of their screens. Yeah. Cliff is right on point. Are you gonna, James? Chris says, "Am I gonna get the Razr phone?" Yes, I will get the Razr phone. That's funny. But most people are immature and persistent. Yeah, I agree, Sean. There's some people that are very immature online. Susan says, there's something I like about each different brand of a phone. No one phone is perfect. I totally agree with that, and I'm living proof of that. I mean, for those that follow tech reviewers, TK is a tech reviewer in here, and I know my Project 13 is, Forbes Tech is. We know, I can speak for me, and I know I'd love to get their feedback on this. Don't you know how to, I guess in a younger generation would say, get the party started? Don't you know how to keep people intrigued? That's our job, is to entertain you, but from a standpoint of being honest. You know, tech reviewers are probably going to buy every phone. Now, whether they can get it at the launch date or in the middle, a week later, that remains to be seen. We don't know. But I can guarantee you every tech reviewer in here has an agenda, has a plan on how can I keep people interested in my channel. Or, you know, it just wouldn't be realistic if we didn't. So for people that say, oh, you know, you said you weren't going to do it, they misinterpret sentences or watch one video and hold you to that as a tech reviewer. Because they're loyal to that brand. They want me to buy the brand that they like, and they want me to praise the brand that they like, and I get this all the time. It's no disrespect to those people. I try to always respect it. I'm going to give everybody 100% first. You start trying to be disrespectful, we have a different problem, we can go down a different road. We're going to be men and just talk first. But some people, they want you to praise what they like, and YouTube reviewers, tech reviewers are probably going to buy every phone. You know, whether they get it, like I said before, at the beginning or the end, they're going to review it more than likely, and it's just going to be their view. It's going to be their view. It's a tool that you should use as a viewer, if you're not a tech reviewer, to gauge some kind of ground of, okay, I don't know if I like that or not, or I don't know how I feel about that. If that's how he feels about it, maybe I should just buy it myself. The price is low enough. But I only like iPhones. I've been supporting Apple for 10 months. So I watched a video from a gentleman. I won't say his name, but the title of the video is, I ditched my Galaxy Note 8 for the iPhone X. Search that on YouTube and you'll see the video. Let me read some comments here. Let's see here. Let's see here. Trying to get, they went ahead of me. Yeah, you know, yeah, CK. I won't repeat what he's saying, but he's true. I ran into some people that was tough over the internet, and when I saw them in person, it wasn't the same. It was, hey, how you doing? Innovation, Cliff says, and competition is vital for us all, especially in tech. It's like I'm reading his comment. He says it's like everybody doesn't understand that without that, it would be a stagnant and boring situation. It would just be really boring. If everybody agreed on everything, technology will be boring and tech reviews would fall off very fast. TK says, I wish a company would make a modular frame and all the manufacturers can make parts. That would actually be pretty sweet. Like Samsung screen with a Huawei camera. Oh, man. An Apple processor. Oh, TK, don't get me started, man. Oh, my gosh. Let's be real here. Apple's products for like the inside, it's nice. I saw a video from Ease Computer Solutions. He was saying the iPhone failed at AR and all this other stuff. So I tested it myself and I had a different outcome. So everybody's usage might be a little different, but yeah, that would be actually pretty sweet because Apple's internals, I say that to say this, Apple's internals are boss, man. It's like they just won't fail. I mean, they will, but, you know, it's likely that you'll get support from Apple. Are you going to be at Best Buy on Black Friday? I don't do Best Friday. That's shout out to Chris. I don't do that, man. I'm too old to be out there trying to run around with them kids. You guys be young out there. They be trampling over people. Me and my wife will go like the next day we'll wait until all the craziness is gone, and I'll just scavenge through. And normally, I do it online actually now. And when the deals start, I'm online, and I'm spending, tons of thousands of dollars online. And then what I'll do is I'll go in the next morning, and we'll scavenge around and see if we can find some phones laying around or laptops laying around like that. Yeah, J-Do, I think I can keep everyone entertained. Yeah, Forbes Tech is talking about my comment earlier, keeping people entertained. Yeah, Cliff says, you just gotta keep it real and be honest. Not gonna please everybody, especially on the internet. That's 100% true, and that's why if Cliff, I were ever to meet you in person, man, you would say there's people in this stream who have actually met me in person. It would be the same way as we're on this podcast. You may hear me say a person talks trash over the internet. It's gonna be different when you see me in person. I'm just praying for them, I'm praying ahead of time that they don't act stupid and they don't act crazy, because some people might take stuff for a weakness, like just because I'm saying, okay, I'm all positive and everything, and, I'm going to be nice to you, that doesn't mean if you come to me and curse me out or something and say, you a joke, I'm going to be throwing Bible scriptures at you. I think that's what people think. I'm going to pray for you, but, it's just, respect is what I'm going to give you first. It always works. And so if I were to meet you in person, Cliff, it would be, like you said, I will be honest, like I'm doing right now. It would be nice, it would be fun. I would try to make it fun and entertaining, and we just keep it real, and we just chat and kick it, and that's it. That's just what it is. Apple is at least support device of the four. Yeah, Apple products, and I think that might be why a lot of people are loyal to Apple. I posed a question, and I actually have a part 2. I won't disclose too much information though. I did a video saying why do people hate Apple so much? Well, there's another version of that video. I'll release it soon, but Apple loyalists, they're Apple. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. And first of all, shout out to the replay crew if you made it up to this 42-minute mark. The replay crew, for those that actually listen all the way through, we're 42 minutes in, believe it or not. Shout out to the replay crew, and you guys in the live podcast can comment on this. Who's more rowdy, Samsung fans or Apple fans? Who's the more rude fan? In my experience, it's all Samsung fans. They are freaking rude. They are way too loyal unto why they support Samsung. And that's just a little side question. Cyber Monday, yeah, Cyber Monday. Cyber Monday is getting old. Check people. Cyber Monday is better than Black Friday. Susan says, Jay, how do you decide? Let me see. It's going too fast. Let me see if I can catch up here. Oh my gosh. How do you decide which phones you're going to have for the day? Isn't it difficult? Yeah. Well, what it is I have 4 phone numbers. And when I'm in review phase, it's my main SIM card. It's in whatever phone I'm reviewing. It's in there. It has to be in there. Now I prioritize them like this. Like right now, the iPhone 10 is my main SIM card, main phone. Second is the Galaxy Note 8, and then I got a bunch of phones that I'm reviewing, and I'm rotating the next 2 SIM cards in between those. But currently, it's the Galaxy Note 8, and the iPhone 10 is in my main slot. And that's I just picked 2 drivers that are going to permanently stay in those SIM cards, and then the rest of it is just I'm rotating amongst them, and that's just how it is. And I don't actually carry 4 phones all at one time. I'm only carrying 2, and I got a backpack, I got a tech bag. All techies have a tech bag. And in that tech bag, you're going to have a tablet, a laptop, some microphones, cameras, battery packs. That's something that you continuously carry around. It might be sitting in your trunk of your car. It might be sitting in the living room. I have a tech bag in every room. I got a tech bag that sits in the corner of the living room with battery packs and cables and tablets, laptops. Yeah, I keep it that way. Let me see. Samsung stands in the internet. Apple stands in real life. I feel like, and maybe I should have named this loyalty or brand loyalty. I don't know, because it seems like that's really what it's about. Brand loyalty. Yeah, I think that might be what it comes down to, and how people actually relay their thoughts on why. Can people actually articulate their thoughts on why they like what they like, and I think that might be the problem. I shouldn't say problem, because a problem needs to be solved. That might be an issue. TK, he said, "Yep, got a tech bag." Oh, we know you got a tech bag, man. I collect bags too, man. You guys seen all the bags that I got on my channel. I love collecting the bags, man. I gotta keep the bags, and if I buy one, I buy one. If not, I'll tell you, this is a review unit, man, and I'm glad I got it. I appreciate it. When I got a nutsack, dude, man, let me tell you, I was excited when I got a nutsack. Nutsack bags are premium. They are top notch. Real talk. Let me see here. Yeah, you gotta stay ready with a tech bag, man. You have to. So brand loyalty for one company, brand loyalty. I think what I want to do, I want to open up this phone line real quick, because I want to see, we can talk about it in a live podcast all day. We can replay it on YouTube. We can replay it on Spreaker. And shout out to all the people that follow me on Spreaker. Man, I got to get a quick plug real quick, though, because you guys have me on blast. I really appreciate it, man. I'm up to 3,279 followers on this podcast, and I appreciate it, with over 30,000 plays, over 100 likes. I appreciate it, man. You guys are awesome. So I think I'm going to pop this phone number in this podcast. And please don't give my phone number out. It's so strange. I have people calling me at all times. It's like they think the phone numbers are not real. And I think that might be, maybe I'm being a little too honest. You know what I mean? I don't have any quote unquote trap phones, so I don't have anything I could do that with. But I just have people calling me all the time, and I'm like, for real, man? Come on, show some respect, man. How many other YouTubers would actually even answer the phone, or how many YouTubers would actually put their number in there and trust people? I mean, I hate to start hanging up on people, but come on, man, show a little respect. Don't give out my phone number to people. Don't call me just because you have a question. That's not right. So I'm gonna put this phone number in here. I want to hear from you guys. If you want to call in, you very well can. But I want to hear from you, because I think it's important that people hear a voice. And TK, you got a nutsack. Yeah, see, TK knows about the nutsack bag, man. People heard about that and they thought it was a joke, but nutsack bags are premium, man. I mean, those have got to be some of the most premium. I do use Google Voice, but so the Google Voice numbers that I have, so many people have them. Like I've had my Google Voice numbers for like over. Whenever Google Voice launched, that's when I picked the number and I kept it. So my virtual numbers, but people still, I've given them to important people, so I don't want to turn them off. You can disable Google Voice numbers and turn on like do not disturb. So I don't want to do that to those people, but it's all good. So you can call up right now. I'm dropping the number in the podcast. Let's see here. If you'd like to chat and give your opinion on why you are supportive of the brand that you are supporting, call me up and we'll talk about it. And please refrain from pornography, profanity, anything vulgar, because there are people from the church that actually listen to the podcast. They actually come back and watch videos, and they don't want to listen to those things. Neither do I. So just be mindful of that. If you decide to call in, please just keep it clean. That's all I ask. But I think that when it comes to something like brand loyalty, I think I'm probably gonna. I don't know that I could. I'm loyal to BlackBerry, but BlackBerry, let's be honest, they're not doing nothing right now. They're not doing anything. They're not bringing out any BlackBerry OS devices. They're not. TK said I said that for him. TK said I said that for him. No, TK, man, you only did that to me one time, and you actually haven't done it since. You've actually been pretty clean, man, and I appreciate you being clean like that. I mean, I watch your all your videos, and you're actually really good at tech, man. You doing your thing. That's what your fans love. What you do, so you're doing something right. So, that is what it is. I ain't gonna hate on you. People take the steps in their lives. There's good in everybody. No judging. But the lifestyle that I lead, I just don't engage in that anymore, and I try to avoid it. TK was on a stream one time, and he was on a live stream, I gotta tell you this quick story. He was on the live stream back in the day. Oh man, it was so crazy, man. He started he started talking, man. He was good at first, and then all of a sudden, man, he started cutting up. It was my first. He was actually on one of my first late night live streams, because people wanted me to move the time, and it was him and like 5 other people. It might have been 7 people on that stream. I don't know, but that was my first official late night stream, and he was chilling at first. He was doing good. Then all of a sudden, man, he started cutting up. I was like, oh man, this is not going to end well. But you know what? I left the stream up. I didn't cut anything out. It was fun, but he's being who he is, and that's what the people like about him. He has way more followers than I have, so people like to be entertained. But in the end, he's talking about tech, and so I just try to hone in on tech, and just keep it. There's good in everybody. That's just the way I live. There is some positive in everybody, and he's not a bad. People who use profanity aren't bad people. I just ask that people grow into articulating without profanity, and that's all. That's just something that I personally ask. But you do what you want to do. I can't stop a person from doing something. But his first call. Let's put this on speaker real quick. All right, it's your man Jay Will. You live on my Tuesdays podcast. Who we rocking with today?
Hey Jay, it's Susan.
Hey Susan, y'all. Susan's in the house. All right.
Yeah.
Me and Susan hung out, y'all. I had some coffee. She is awesome. She is fantastic. We had a blast. But I know she's a loyalist.
It was fun.
Yeah, I can't wait for you to come back and we can do it again, man. It was a lot of fun.
Hey, next time I come down there, I'm gonna let you know.
Yeah, please do. We had a great time. It was a blast.
Yeah, it was a blast.
I don't consider you to be a loyalist or anything unless you're a hidden Samsung. I know you like Samsung, but
I do, but I didn't used to. I had been an LG fan for a long time, not completely, but I was kind of leaning toward LGs for a long time. And then I tried a Samsung last year. The Note 7 was my first Samsung.
Oh wow! Oh, I remember. You're right, because we've been talking for a long time now. Actually,
yeah.
That's crazy. It's been at least a year.
Well, you know what? I have gotten into multiple phones lately. I usually beforehand I just rocked with one, and now I have 4.
Oh wow! Wow.
So, but I bought the Moto G5 Plus, I think, for my son and my husband, because they only need, inexpensive, decent phones.
Yeah.
And they're great. I love them. And they were only, $200 and some bucks.
Yeah. How many phones do you have?
I've got the Note 8. I have the LG G6. I've got my ZTE Z Max Pro.
Nice.
And I had, what was my other phone that I got rid of? I guess I only have 3 right now.
Wow. You are definitely a junkie. You're a tech junkie. If you got more than 2 phones, something's wrong. You're a tech junkie.
I kind of am in that ZTE. The Z Max Pro is such a big phone, but I really kind of like it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So would you say you're a loyalist to one brand? Or why do you... If you had to pick one brand that you faithfully would support here on out, who would it be and why?
Well, like I said in the chat, there's things I like about each phone. And for just straight up working well, ease of use, everything else, I'd have to go with an iPhone, even though I don't have one and have never had one.
And you know what? That's honesty right there. That's real. That's the reality check for a lot of people. Some people would probably, and that's why I said, I kind of joked about it. I was like, all the complaints are coming from people who don't own an iPhone.
Yeah.
That seems to be what it is. Most of the complaints are coming from people who don't even own an iPhone. They're just following the trend of trashing iPhones.
Well, I think I've told you before, the 3 folks I work with all have iPhones and are not very tech savvy, so
right.
I help them with their iPhones and do their updates and explain stuff to them. So I guess I've learned quite a bit about them from there. Plus, I have an old iPad that I still love.
Oh, I love my iPad. I love my iPad.
Well, and mine's ancient. It's 5 years old. And It is laggy as all get out, but it still does what I need it to do.
Right.
So I have an LG tablet that I like a 7-inch, and I like that for traveling because it's not so heavy. Because my old iPad is so heavy.
Yeah, those things are bricks.
Yeah, but I'm kind of digging the iPhone 10. I may get one.
I think if you get it, you'll be a little bit happier than you think you'll be. Now, you're definitely switching from a Note to an iPhone.
Yeah.
I can tell you, it's not going to be hard. You're going to get that, right away. But if you don't focus on what you're giving up, you're going to have a great experience.
Yeah. Well, and I don't think I wouldn't give up my Note. This would be an additional version. Not give up. I mean, like functionality. Like the S Pen and all that kind of stuff. See.
Yeah, if you don't think about that, I think you're going to have a fantastic experience.
I like the pen. I can do without it, but it is very cool.
Right.
And I really like that new live messaging.
Oh, I love that.
I really like the Animoji things on the iPhone 10. Is that what those are called?
Yeah, see, I actually thought that I would use it a few times and stop using it.
Yeah.
I think I use it a lot.
It's really fun. I played with it at the store and I thought, oh my god, this is cool. I would use this a lot.
When you have it at your disposal, when you know you can use it whenever you want, that's a different story. And I think that's what a lot of people, it is kind of silly to do, but they put it on there to have fun.
Well, yeah, just like the live messaging is fun.
Right.
It's just gadgety. But like we were saying in the chat, wouldn't it be fun if we could have little bits from each phone that we like and put it all into one? There just isn't. I don't know if I could pick one and have it be my absolute favorite brand. I've been using Samsungs for about a year, and there are many things I like, and there's some things I prefer about LGs.
Well, I think TK said it best earlier. Like you said, if he could take Apple's processing power, Samsung's screen, and the Mate 10's hardware, we would have a killer device.
But then there's the camera on the HTC U11.
Wow,
and
that's my favorite.
I remember when I saw you had me take a picture of myself with that thing, and you're like, look at the quality.
Oh man,
and it was fantastic. Now I haven't had an HTC phone since I had a flip phone.
Oh wow.
So it's been a while. So that I may have to wait on the iPhone until it comes down in price a little bit.
You'll be waiting for years then.
Good deal.
The only way you're gonna get a discount on the iPhone is if T-Mobile does a BOGO.
Right. Well, that's true. Or unless my brother can get me a good deal. That happens sometimes.
Susan's brother works for T-Mobile, guys. He's a big dog at T-Mobile.
But I don't always get great deals. It just depends. Sometimes I do, but usually he wants the good deal. So of course, I don't blame him.
Yeah, I guess he decided he's putting in the work. So
But I really do want to get an HTC phone though. I don't know if I'm going to get the Life. I saw that they do have that at T-Mobile, but I'm kind of waiting on the Plus, I guess.
The Plus is one that everybody keeps telling me to get. I'm like, well, how can I get it if it's not available for me to purchase?
Yeah, where do we get it?
You can't right now. I think people think that I haven't. As soon as it was announced, I wasn't trying to buy it. Of course, I was out there trying to buy it right away. Yeah. But it's not available for us.
Well, and I know you and I talked about it before, but BlackBerry was my first smartphone, and probably one of the best smartphones I ever had.
I'm going to stay loyal to BlackBerry has no idea how they can make a serious comeback by bringing back a BlackBerry OS device. They're just not.
I know it.
I don't understand it.
That keyboard, I can type so fast on that keyboard.
Oh man, I love it.
Their emailing system. I just loved everything about my BlackBerry. I've gotten used to the other stuff, but I still have it. I still have my old BlackBerry Curve. It doesn't work anymore, but I can't bring myself to throw it away.
Yeah, and TK just said in the chat, he said we can buy it from the Chinese market. I've been looking. I've been trying everywhere, but the ones that I found were $1,000. I was like, oh no.
Oh no.
I'm not paying $1,000. I like it. I'm sure I'll love it, but I'm not paying $1,000 just to get a bigger screen. Not going to happen.
Is it coming to the U.S.?
No, it's not coming to... At least as of right now, it's not.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't know. I might pick up a U11. I think that front... Because I video chat a lot with my daughter, who lives near you. And, boy, having a good front camera is a big thing.
Oh, yeah. The U11's front cameras, to me, are the best on the market.
I know. That's why I have not gotten the V30.
Yeah, I mean, oh my gosh. The V30, oh my gosh. Those cameras, the rear camera is good, but that front camera just destroys it for me. It's such a disappointment.
I know, and I love the wide-angle lens. My front camera on my G6 is better than the front camera on the V30, in my opinion. If
a person were to ask me right now, and I've been getting this question, hey, I found the V20 for $229 brand new, or $250 I can get a brand new LG V20 for $250. Should I get the V30 or the V20? Get the V20.
The V20,
yes. It's got a removable battery still. It's got a bigger screen. Well, technically it doesn't have a bigger screen. It appears bigger because it has that 16:9 ratio, but it's just a better purchase. Like, you're pretty much getting some bang-em-up cameras. It's just crazy. The cameras are better, so the V30 is a disappointment for $800. The front camera, that is.
They made such a mistake going away from the removable battery. That was a huge draw for me. Because, I like carrying around an extra battery. I got a purse, I just put it in my purse, and you're 0 to, 100% like that, and you don't have to charge.
Just a few seconds. Yeah, I see these, I'm looking online as we speak, and, I can see the huge price tag that some people want for the U11 Plus. And it's just about the demand. I'm not paying $1,000 plus $50 shipping, and it's crazy.
So what's the next one going to be? Is it going to be called the U12?
Well, there's another U11 already out. It's actually called it's coming. It's supposed to be coming. It actually has a 1080p display, and it's basically the U11 Plus with scaled down screen, and I think the processor might have dropped. I'm not sure. I think it still had a Snapdragon 835. I'm not sure. I got to find that leak. But that is actually a phone that has a 1080p display, which I would definitely buy that in a heartbeat. Not my first choice anymore, but it's still, it'll be a 6-inch display. So it's called the U11 something. Somebody in this podcast, I'm sure you'll know the name of it. I just actually posted a leak on it, but it's the U11. It's another version of the U11. It's not the Ocean. It's something. I don't know what it was.
Okay. I'll take a look around.
Yeah, I forgot. It's another one that leaked out. And it just has a 1080p display. That's pretty much it.
Yeah.
It's going to be good.
But, I don't know. Like I said, I can't say that I am absolutely loyal to one brand. I'm talking on my G6 right now.
That sounds good.
Yeah, it does sound pretty good, but because I've got all my phones out here actually right now because I've got your stream on the one, and I turned the volume down, and then my other one is charging. So.
Oh yeah, that's good. You already know I got a bunch of stuff on my desk, so it's just how it goes.
Well, what do you think is your favorite brand? Do you have one? I mean, is it BlackBerry?
It's BlackBerry. It's BlackBerry, but unfortunately, BlackBerry's not doing anything right now. So if I had to choose one brand, it's either going to be Samsung or Apple. It'll be one of those. It has to be. Now, I could choose brands like Huawei and things like that, but I would like support first. And you already know that the most support is going to come from Apple. But the superior for features and things like that, that's going to come from Samsung. But in reality, do I need all those features? Probably not. So it's going to either be Samsung or Apple for me. I mean, I don't know if I can narrow down. Because, see, I have them all at my disposal, so it's easy for me to just dance around it. But if I just had to choose, like somebody asked me if I had to just stay with one brand, it would definitely be either an iPhone or whatever the latest. It wouldn't be the latest of the phones. Like, if I were to start today, yes, it would be the latest. Like, I would either take the Galaxy Note going forward or the iPhone 10 going forward and pick one and go with it until it breaks. But if it wasn't about this tech thing, I wouldn't have the latest edition but it would definitely be a Samsung or an Apple more than likely. Because I wouldn't know about all the other brands, if I wasn't doing tech.
Yeah, my friends make fun of me all the time because I am constantly getting new phones. Because I just am so interested in tech that I want the latest and greatest. I want to try it. I want to see what the new thing is. And but most of my friends keep their phones for 2-3 years, and I'm thinking, I'm lucky to get 6 months with a phone.
They're saving a lot of money though. They're beating us out because they're saving money. You know,
I know.
They're not. They're winning. Actually, we might laugh at them and say, "Ah, you still got that old phone," but in reality, they're beating us because they've saved hundreds of dollars, maybe even thousands. You know.
I know it. My best friend still has a V10, and
wow.
I just gave her my spare batteries because I still had a couple left over.
Wow.
And I picked it up and was using it, and I thought, I love that phone. That's the kind of build I like on a phone because it doesn't have the dang glass back.
I think you kind of surprised me a second ago when you said you would actually are ready to pick up an iPhone, and I think you should do it.
I feel like I have not, even though I like them, I've used many iPhones, but I feel like I need to have one because I have never owned one.
Well, I can tell you to try one. I think your first experience is going to be, and you know what, since you've never had one, start with the 10. That way, the bar is set really high for you so you won't expect anything less. And I'm not saying the 10 is the best phone, but I can guarantee you, I feel like it's the best iPhone. And I have them all right here.
I played with it at the store, and I didn't think I was going to like the gestures, but it was very easy. I mean, it just seemed sort of natural. I don't know.
It took me a little time to get used to it.
Well, I had watched your video, and I saw the gestures you were using, and I thought, oh, I got to do this, and this
Yep.
was very smooth.
Yeah,
oh,
it is. I think you'd be happy if you could ditch your all phones and just keep the iPhone 10 for the next 2 years. I think you could do it. I think you could do it.
Really? For 2 years?
I mean, I've never kept the phone for 2 years since I've been doing tech. But when I wasn't doing tech, I kept my phones until they broke. I kept them until it was just falling apart, and then I bought another one because I didn't want to spend the money.
When I used to be on Verizon, I had to keep it for 2 years or I had to pay full price for the phone.
Exactly.
So back then I did, but that was like flip phones, and I did have my first BlackBerry from Verizon. I didn't mind keeping that for 2 years.
Oh, yeah. My BlackBerry Curve was the one, man. If a BlackBerry fan says they didn't like the BlackBerry Curve, they didn't like BlackBerry.
I love that one. Holy
BlackBerry
cow.
Curve, yeah, it was so good. Because that was like the newer version. I had the old BlackBerry when it was a pager. The little small one. I had the first one. Yeah, the first one was definitely not a phone. For those that don't know, the first BlackBerry wasn't a phone. It was actually it was a pager, a two-way. And it was nothing like the current BlackBerries at all. It was nothing like it. But I think the Curve was a popular one, and the BlackBerry, I'm definitely going to stay true to them. But if they're not doing anything, there's absolutely nothing I can do about it. I got to pick another brand. I have to.
That's true. Well, I feel like I should get off so somebody else can call in.
Yeah, the number's in here. Let me post it up again. And I appreciate you calling in, man. Good chatting with you. Let me know when you're back in town. We're definitely going to hit Starbucks again.
I sure will.
All right, take care.
Okay, bye-bye.
All right, bye. That is Susan, guys. She is awesome. We hung out one time while she was here, and it was so much fun, man. It was just a lot of fun, man. She is awesome, and we had a good time. It was a blast. Let me read some comments here. What's your second choice for a front-facing camera on a phone? Well, I think, and this is coming from Chris, and okay, hold on, Chris. Let me take this call real quick, and I'm gonna get to your question. This is Brad. Looks like. Hey, what's going on? It's your man Jay Williams live on Tuesday's podcast. Who do you have? Is this Brad?
This is Brad.
Hey, what's going on, Brad?
How you doing, Jay?
What's going on, man? I know you're not a loyalist. I don't know. Are you?
No, I'm definitely not. I have a lot of phones.
You got a lot of them.
Yeah, pretty much. You can name a lot of the top ones, and I've probably got it. I mean, there are some brands I have a soft spot for, like you said, BlackBerry, but they've been pretty quiet. So I'm just kind of hoping for something from them, but just kind of waiting around. But I see HTC. I always had a soft spot for them. I do like my U11.
Oh.
I had the 10. I even had stuff way back to what was it? The 3D camera there.
Oh yeah, the Thunderbolt and all those. The HTC 3D one. The phone. Yeah. Oh
yeah.
man.
I've had those and kind of stopped for a while, but now I pretty much, because every phone, it seems like every phone has some cool feature or some, not necessarily gimmick, but some little neat thing. You want to try it. You want to see what it's like, see if it's the next great thing.
Yeah.
iPhones, to me, they've always been great, but I kind of treat iPhone like a separate category. iPhone's kind of like that other phone in the other corner that you kind of can always go to. It's kind of, the old reliable. I know that the 10 is crazy powerful.
Oh, yeah.
Expensive.
It's funny you say that. I think that might upset people, and I think that's good, though. Some people might say, oh, he's saying it's the most reliable phone. But the fact of the matter is, iPhones are reliable. People who deny that are in denial. And there's people that'll say, well, my iPhone crashed, my iPhone did this. I believe you. But in reality, there are more iPhones getting the good support and lasting longer. Don't you know someone with an old iPhone? Like, I know people with a 4S.
At my job, we got people with deployed 5S's that still are chugging along.
Yeah, that's what he called it old reliable. And I think, and that's not to take a shot at Android, but it's the truth. iPhones run pretty good, man. They stay just like Apple computers, man. I got some older Apple computers that run like brand new.
Yeah, mostly iPhones. Well, with the exception of the 10, iPhones usually didn't really get me excited, but they were always there. They always had, that you knew exactly what to expect when you pick up the iPhone and go, oh yeah, this is that familiar iPhone experience. You know exactly what you're dealing with.
I totally agree. I totally agree. I think you hit the nail on the head, and I hope that some viewers who are listening to this later, I hope they get to this point and they say, what? And I'll hear it in the comments if they do. I think that's actually a pretty good point. I mean, anybody who says that the iPhones are not reliable, you didn't say they were easy. Like, that Apple tried to say, oh, they're the easiest. I don't buy into that. Android phones are easy too. But you said it was old reliable, and that's a good terminology for people who don't have an iPhone. You like Susan, shout out to Susan, she just hung up. You can clearly get reliability with an iPhone. It may be a little boring at times, but the iPhone 10 is probably the most exciting iPhone that I've ever purchased. It's got the new hardware, it's got the new cameras, it's got the new screen. It's got, it's a good iPhone. It's not perfect. It's not the best phone on the market, but I just love the way you said that. Old reliable. That's good. I'm going to have to talk about my iPhones like that.
I don't drool over it. I mean, I'm thinking about, the new Android devices and things like that. Those get you excited. Those got the new features.
Oh, yeah.
There's some about a new Android phone that's kind of a hotness. So
right.
It's kind of a different classroom. But, I mean, I do have all kinds of Android phones, and I jump around using them all the time, and I love all of them, usually. But there's always, the iPhone. I actually have the iPhone for my work phone. The iPhone is just the iPhone 8. It's not the Plus. It's just the regular little 8. Gets the job done. It's for work. It's always there. It's always doing its thing.
It's funny you say, another point you just made was about Android phones being more exciting. I think that's true. Like, Android phones have always been more exciting than iPhones. I've gone on record and said I like my iPad better than my iPhone. I can get more done on my iPad, but the fact that you said that Android phones are more exciting, you look for that, you get excited. You're absolutely right. I do get it. Now that I think about it, I get really excited when I know a new Android phone is coming. Like the Razer. The Razer phone is going to have a 120 refresh rate that you can disable.
That kind of hot rod specs you get excited about.
Yeah. But in reality, Old Faithful, Old Reliable will always be back there sitting on the table. You know it's going to work. You know it's going to work.
Like when I got to go to to Hong Kong for work, that's the iPhone.
Take the iPhone. Take the iPhone, because for one, the iPhone probably already has all the bands. Not every Android phone has every band. The iPhone is set to travel. Unless you have a Verizon Android phone, you probably don't have all the bands that will keep you steady when you're overseas. So with iPhones, most cases, like right now, they're saying, there's different models of the iPhone. They're pretty much all the same. Like the T-Mobile one is already unlocked. The T-Mobile one works on Verizon right out of the box. Some people don't know that though, because
I think that does everything, doesn't it?
Yeah. There's just one iPhone, and I actually made a video about that. There's just one iPhone, and they're just kind of marketing them differently. That's pretty much all it. Like the Essential phone on Sprint, I found out that's just the unlocked phone. The Essential phones are all the same. But I was watching somebody else's video, and they were like, "Well, I had to get the unlocked version because I had the Sprint version." I'm like, "Wait a minute, the Sprint version is already unlocked."
It's the same phone, right?
It's the same phone.
I'm actually talking to you on that phone right now. I got it for $450.
Yeah, that's a good deal. Yeah, I love my Essential phone. You'll see some more footage on the Essential phone coming up shortly. I like to use phones for a long time in between review periods. I like to just use them and just really get a feel for it. See if is it going to break? Is it going to stop functioning here? Is it going to keep doing good here? But the cameras on the Essential phone, unfortunately, are not its strong suit, but they're not bad. They're not as bad as what the internet said they were. You know?
Yeah, I've been playing with it. I know there's some hacks. You can actually load the Google camera app on it.
Yeah, I made a video about that. I've got it online. Yeah, and it makes it so much better.
I see it all over the reviews, and I like that stuff, kind of tweaking and playing with it. I miss that stuff, too, with the Android phones. You can kind of mess around a little bit.
And TK made a point just a second ago in the chat that the only difference is when the CDMA iPhones is 800 and 900. That's it. Those are the bands. The iPhones are pretty much all the same, and you do right by traveling with it, but that's not to say that Android phones are bad or anything like that, but I don't know, you struck a nerve. I really like the way you said, basically, Old Faithful over there will always be there, and that's how I feel about my Apple computers. I just have not had a problem with Apple computers. I mean, that's just, maybe I'm definitely loyal to Apple for their computers, but their phones, probably not too much. Their tablets, I wouldn't say I was loyal because I like all kinds of tablets, but their computers, I don't see myself editing on anything else permanently. Like if I had to keep just one, it would definitely be an iMac or a MacBook Pro or something like that indefinitely, because most YouTubers use an Apple computer to edit in almost every situation. That's just how it is.
Yeah, you want to get it done, that comfortable feeling, you know what to expect. It always, like you said, Old Faithful, just get in there, get it done, get your work done. You don't have to worry about anything. Yep,
that's reliability, and maybe that's why Apple markets their phones as reliable. I look at the marketing plan of Apple and Samsung, and what I notice is that, and this isn't just me, everybody should be able to see this, it seems like Apple is Samsung is too busy making fun of Apple and what they're doing wrong instead of just putting out a commercial to market their own products. Apple, in turn, does not take shots at Samsung from what I've seen. I haven't seen it yet. All Apple talks about, they brag about sales figures and how their phones just work, and Samsung is making videos about how bad Apple products are. Now, granted, Samsung's actually right in what they're saying. Samsung's not wrong. I just think that marketing strategy doesn't sit well with a lot of people. Like, people, if I want to watch a commercial, I don't really so much want to watch a commercial about how I can put down this other, I'll rather just see the commercial and highlight the phone itself. But hey, that's just me.
You don't want to poke the bear, especially with some of those fans, because they get really sensitive.
Yeah.
And I don't mind that passion. That's cool. I don't like when people start hating. But I don't mind strong, passionate fans. That's totally fine. I may love all phones. That's fine, and I know some people just like their particular thing, and that's great too. But I don't think they should, go prodding at the other fans. I don't think that's gonna be like, hey, come over to our side. We're gonna make fun of the thing you like.
Right. It's kind of like you can crack a joke, like John Ledger. Shout out to John Ledger from T-Mobile. He goes a little too far sometimes. His jokes are funny, but he goes way overboard. But he's smart though. He's a great marketing tool because he's getting those loyal T-Mobile fans because he's hitting that younger generation who's entertained by that. He's hitting that generation who's totally entertained by him cussing and cussing out Verizon execs. They're entertained by that. This guy is off the charts, man. He is something else, and he's doing well because he's pulling in the right crowd, and it's a smart marketing tool for him. He
knows exactly what he's doing.
Yeah, he's not stupid. He knows exactly who to target, and he knows who he's targeting, and he knows that they're going to respond to him. Not everybody is responding with happiness and joy when they're listening to him. He's a funny guy. I like him as a CEO. I think he's taking T-Mobile to the next level, but sometimes he goes way overboard, man. I'm thinking, wow, this guy is crazy. He goes all in.
Yeah, and then the people want to see what he's going to do next.
Yep.
He pulls them in, and that's what it is.
Yeah, that's what it is, man. That is what it is. Well, I'm glad you finally called up, man. I'm glad I'm taking some calls tonight. It's good to hear the voice of the people. So you're not really just listening to you. I don't think you're like me. You have and several other people. Even though you're not a tech reviewer, you still have tons of phones, just like Susan. You know, there's a lot of people out there that you just like technology, so you're gonna buy whatever you want, and you'll switch between the phones.
Exactly that. The guys at work, they're like, "What do you got today? What's the phone this week?" They don't want they want my opinion before they buy their new phones because they don't want to get a better phone. So, what's good this month? So
yeah,
and that's fine.
You're the go-to guy. You're the go-to guy for tech. They expect you to have something new every time.
Yeah, they want to see what's new, what's hot. So, and that's okay. I don't mind that.
Yeah, hey,
no problem.
You're the man. You're one of us. Brotherhood. The brotherhood.
Jay, I'm gonna take the dog out, but
all right,
I
man.
love your podcast. I love your videos, and I appreciate your honesty and your upfrontness with everything.
Oh yeah, man. Yeah, I gotta stay real and just be honest. Everybody have fun while I'm doing it, man. It's a lot of fun. I appreciate your support too, man. I really do mean that. Maybe we can have coffee one day if we're ever in the same town. I love Starbucks, sit back, relax.
In Massachusetts, so.
Hey, next time I'm in Massachusetts I'm traveling everywhere, it seems like. Next time I'm close, if I'm in that area, I'll post on social media, hey, this is where I'm at. Let's go have a coffee if you're available.
Sounds good.
All right, take care, Brad.
All right, bye-bye.
All right. So if you're just joining in, this is Tuesday's podcast. I had some people calling in. Here's the call right here. Let's catch this call. What's going on? It's your man Jay William live on my Tuesday's podcast. Who we got?
TK, man, what's up?
What's going on, man? I saw you call earlier. I said, man, you rang in at the same time as Brad did, and he got in first.
My dad is lagging. I'm on his Wi-Fi here at the hospital.
Oh, got you. Well, my prayers to you, man. Hope everything is all right, man. It's good to finally have you on, man. I need to get you actually on the podcast. Because I was going to reach out to you Saturday, but, man, my daughter had a game, and I was out of town. We were just out of town the entire weekend. I said, I'm going to have to kill this next podcast. But I told Night Tech, I said, Night Tech, I got to get TK, and I got to get Forbes Tech. I got to get these guys, like, actually on the podcast with me, to do a full podcast, man. I think it'll be awesome. I know you're not a loyalist, though. I know you're not. But I know, I got to ask, though. Is there one brand that... Well, you might have a favorite brand, though, right?
My favorite brand is BlackBerry. So
okay, yeah, all right.
The video I edited while I was up... And I apologize for the beeping.
No, you good, man.
I can't get him to turn the damn thing on.
No, you good.
But, the brand that I want to say is the favorite for me is probably BlackBerry. And it's for superficial reasons. You think back in the day, like the Virtue phone, I had one of those with the Ferrari leather stitch thing in it,
yeah.
3500. But it was just like a Nokia 3350 or whatever it was, and
right.
rebranded into the Virtue phone. It was just a regular phone.
Right.
And then the BlackBerry 7250 came out.
Yep. Black and white screen.
Yeah. Yep. It had and then the 7520 came out with the color screen.
Color screen. Yep.
I had to have it, that chirp, and, and the BlackBerry. That was my thing, man. And ever since then, I had the 8310, the 8330 curves. Then they went to the touchpads and to the BlackBerry Storm. That made me switch to Verizon.
Right.
And I got the playbook. I still got the playbook. Someone commented and said, "This thing looks mint," and I'm like, "Yeah, I got like 10 of them."
Yeah, I like those, man. I like them.
Yep. And I tell people, as far as brands, that's it. I feel so bad for BlackBerry. You would think that John Chen or you think their investors or their board would get on them and say, "Hey, look, this is what it takes in this market to put out." It's like you think like they would have the common sense. And I wonder if these CEOs and these execs of these phone companies, maybe outside of VPE and Huawei, they seem to kind of have the pulse of.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Outside of that, man, like, I don't know who's in charge or who's making these decisions at BlackBerry, but they're stupid.
Yeah, I mean, like, who in their right mind would give up on their old operating system that is perfectly fine because you're not selling a lot of them and let's just license the software? That's stupid right there. I don't understand that move.
And an operating system that's smoother. And I love Android, but if I'm keeping it 100%, I mean, BlackBerry Pen, like all of the features that you see on the iPhone 10 right now, the swipe up to multitask came from Palm with Palm OS and BlackBerry OS.
Mm-hmm.
That's where that stuff comes from.
That's correct.
And so, like, BlackBerry 10, I mean, when I use my Passport, which I use every time I travel internationally because it works like my iPhone everywhere.
Yeah.
So, you know, the Passport with the gestures and the whole, I love that, man. I still break out the Z10 or whatever it was every once in a while.
Yeah.
Man, and that thing is, 4 years old?
Oh, yeah.
It's still butter. It's still butter.
Oh, yeah.
I can't break out my Nexus 1 or my Nexus S. You know, if I try to open those up, I'm like, it's a lag fest. I can't do it.
It's not happening, man. It's not happening.
Yep.
Man, BlackBerry to me and WebOS, those are my two favorite operating systems, but for the life of me, when they decided to drop BlackBerry OS, I was so mad. I mean, I still have my BlackBerry community that I run, but I don't give it any love. I haven't been showing it any love right now. It's about 2,000 people in there, and I just haven't felt, I just don't have anything to give them. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not interested in a BlackBerry with Android on it. I like Android, but that's not if you're a real BlackBerry fan, that's not a BlackBerry. So some people got mad at me for that. I know you remember all that stupid stuff that happened on Twitter. Everybody was mad because I closed my group. I was like, listen, this is my choice. That's not a BlackBerry. You know, I'm a real BlackBerry fan, you know?
And I had somebody from the company, they actually work at Crackberry, so it's one of the Mobile Nations, wherever they are. But they had somebody from BlackBerry, and they've seen me do BlackBerry stuff before, like when the Priv came out, and they let me put that savage video on their forums because they don't like to post any videos with swearing in it. And they let me get away with it because they were like, yeah. And then I got contacted by somebody at BlackBerry, and they said, hey, look, we have this new device, that, you know, it's the key one without the keyboard.
Yeah.
And I was like, nah.
It's not a BlackBerry, man. I mean, if anybody said you're an Apple fanboy, right? They say I'm an Apple fanboy. You're an Apple. Any device that you're currently reviewing, you're a fan of it. You're a loyalist to it. But if they really pay attention, I'm BlackBerry for sure.
I love when they come in the comments and they tell me when I'm doing a video on the iPhone, oh, man, you're just an iPhone fanboy, or you're just hating on Apple. And I'm like, well, I must also be hating on Samsung. You know, I regularly call out Richard Jarrell.
Oh, my God.
You know, like, so I must hate everybody. You know, I'm like Archie from All in the Family. Like,
hey, that was my show, man. That was my show right there.
You couldn't, and that's the thing. Like the same thing with the phones nowadays. Like, you know, like TV. Now I'm dating myself now, but people like shows like that from back in the day.
Yeah.
Whether it was like Sanford and Sons,
All
in the Family. Could never go on today. They'd never go on.
Nope.
People too offended.
Yep. We grew up on that stuff though, man. So it was straightforward. It was a straight shooter, dude. They didn't care. They put it out there. But today's fans, man, today's loyalists, and I would love to get a panel together of someone who only likes Apple, who only likes Samsung, who only likes one of each, and let's see if we can sit down and have a good conversation. I would love to do that. I would love to get that panel together. I mean, true fan. You know, Richard would have to be on there for Samsung. You know, he would have to represent.
And like I told, like anytime Richard comes in, and I try to have I try not to go extra. I try to be like, okay, look, let's keep it 100. You were a big fan. You know, you kept saying that the Note 7 was a big deal, and then it was lighting people's houses on fire.
Yeah.
You know?
You crazy, man.
I mean, you can't do that.
Contrary to what people believe, I don't personally have anything against the guy. I just think he, you know, and we're not gonna have a podcast about him. When I brought him up, that just means that he's the perfect candidate to talk about Samsung because this dude is on everybody's stream, trashing everybody for not liking Samsung. So I think it would be grown man conversation to sit down with each individual who's loyal to Apple, loyal to Samsung. I don't know anybody who's like you know anybody who's seriously about Apple, like really all Apple? I don't know anybody.
Well, maybe like everything Apple Pro or whatever.
Oh yeah, that guy everything Apple. Yeah, you're right. He's Or Justine, she's all Apple, man. She loves Apple.
Oh yeah.
But the chances of her jumping on a podcast or slim to none. She probably won't even. Yeah.
Not necessarily. It just depends. Like, you know, Casey's like that too. He'll jump on a podcast.
Yeah. I mean, I don't have anything. Disclaimer. I don't have anything against Justine. I watch her videos, just so you know. I'm just saying she doesn't know me, so it would be weird for me to ring her up and be like, "Hey, jump on this podcast." You know, she might be like, "Well, how much?" I'm like, nothing.
Oh yeah,
nothing. I don't have any money to give you. You're an Apple loyalist, so. But you're right. The guy at Everything Apple Pro, he does some crazy videos sometimes, though. But yeah, you're right. Those people, he definitely be good. And
well, Apple definitely doesn't co-sign that dude because he puts out videos on like how to bypass iCloud.
Yeah,
yeah.
He puts out those fake iPhones too. Remember, he's putting out all the fake iPhones, the clones. He does all that stuff.
Oh yeah. Dude. Oh yeah, he was putting all that stuff out.
He does all of that, and I don't think they like that because he's basically promoting the Apple brand, but just telling people they can get it at a better cost, and just it's Android, pretty much. And I'm sure they don't like that, but what can you do? What can you do? But I don't know of anybody that's actually loyal to. I know a few people that might be loyal to LG. But I don't think they would. I don't think they have an argument really. LG V30.
I gotta be rough for them right now.
Yeah. The V30 is a beautiful piece of hardware. Like I said, the only failures that I found in the V30 when I got it is the front camera and the price. I can't warrant. I never took an L for that. I got rid of the V30 and got my iPhone 10. And
I didn't buy it.
You didn't get it?
Are you going to review it? Nah, people were like, are you going to review the V30? As soon as I went into the store and saw, because I'll do front, like I'm starting to do front camera stuff now, where people see me on camera.
Yeah.
And I'm like, nah, man, this camera's trash.
It's horrible.
There's no way I can use this.
It's horrible.
And no way I'm spending, because, the New York tax.
Oh, yeah.
Even in Miami, I'm paying, 8%? I'm like, no, I'm not going to spend $920 on a phone. No way.
Yeah. Ours is 8.25 here, and it's a lot, man. So, Mobile Geezer actually just released his front-facing video on the V30, and because he was in a car in broad daylight, it looked fantastic. I told him, I said, man, this looks great. I mean, you got the sun right behind the camera. It looks fantastic. I mean,
if you have good lighting, I mean, you could. I just did a video on the Axon 7 today, and like the Axon 7 was like one of my favorite phones last year.
I loved it, dude. I still got mine. Yeah, I still got it.
And the camera was really the only drawback to me. But if you're in perfect lighting and you have it in like a gimbal or a tripod, you take really good videos.
It's good. I used to use if people remember, I actually used to use the front camera of the Axon 7 for all of my vlogs because it was really good. The rear camera is what I had a gripe with. The rear camera just wasn't that great. And
you couldn't modify it. Like other phones today, you could install Google Camera, but the API is so crap on the Axon 7. If you install any other camera, it'd just say force closed.
That's what it did to me too. So it's kind of a catch-22. Like I think Susan was saying it earlier, and some other people. No phone is flawless, but some phones are better. Like I think you made a good point. You said I would take like the Apple Power, the machine, the internals. Oh man. And then take a Samsung screen? Oh, man.
If a company would just come out and make a modular, like, they can just reach out to companies and say, you can either be part of this trend or catch the L immediately. Everybody's been on it. Put out a frame, whether they got to Kickstarter it or whatever else they got to do, put out a frame, and then let Samsung make a display that's compatible with it. Let Motorola make a processor. Like, if Qualcomm wants to do a processor and Huawei wants to put out the Kirin processor for it, and then you have people competing. And then here's the thing, you buy that frame, you can update it if you want. Like you can buy a new frame in a couple years.
Right.
But if you don't want to do that, you could always just, put in the new processor the next year, or put in the new camera, or, hey, I really don't need the 835 today. Let me put in the 630 so I get better battery life.
But
if they ever come...
Go ahead.
Yeah, if they ever come out with a phone like that, it's going to sell, like, especially, first it'll be developers and enthusiasts that'll buy it. But then that's it. Like, that phone, that design, or that setup, that's it for everybody. Because they're going to be like, I mean, you really think about it, there's not a lot of people, unless they're selling out to D-Brand, that are, but, most people are putting a case on their phone, right?
Yep.
So, I mean, if you buy one of these modular joints, you don't put a case on it anyway. You can throw the UAG case on it or whatever it is. It's going to look like every other UAG case.
Yep.
And then you can just modular your phone out, have the, such and such made a new camera that's better, or Leica made a new camera for the phone, let me get that.
That would be sweet, man. That would be so nice. But I think the issue, I won't say problem because this doesn't need a resolution, but the issue with that is you and I both know that when they do that, cell phones are going to stop. Like, it puts everybody out of business. And so all the companies, I was talking to somebody on a podcast or a stream or a comment, I forgot what it was, and I told the person, I said, you got to be really naive if you think that Verizon, AT&T, and T-Mobile and Sprint are not having backdoor deals and sitting down and talking to each other. This is what we get ready to do. What do y'all get ready to do? Man,
they do it not just with manufacturers. They do it with reviewers too. When I'm at CES and I'm watching XYZ person from, I'm not going to name the website, but they'll go in there and they'll say, hey, look, here's a check for you, and then here's a check for your website, and just make sure that this thing looks really good. And even though they know that the phone is crap, even though they know that phone is straight trash, they will give it a solid review. Nah, man.
You know what? I want you to continue what you said, but I want you to know, and you can co-sign for me on this. So many people think that I got paid for ZTE stuff, but you bought the ZTE phone, and you said it was good.
Yeah. Well, not just that. Well, let's keep it real. They had y'all at Circus. So, like, not against Circus, but if they was paying or they was trying to make y'all give a really good review, they would have put y'all up with us at Win.
Now that's TK keeping it real. We were at the Circus, and if you've never been to Vegas, I've been to Vegas several times, but if you've never been to Vegas, just go to the Circus and go to other hotels. You'll see what he's talking about. The Circus is a huge hotel. It's a nice hotel, but it's not like a premium hotel. You know what I'm saying? And respect to them for sending me. I appreciate it. I'm going again. I'll be at CES this year. But he's making a point to say, there's no way that I took a paycheck. I don't know why people think I got paid to say, and I like that because you reviewed the phones, the same phones I reviewed, and you said it was good. You was like, you know what, you waited too. You didn't get it like we got it at the beginning. You got it way afterwards. And you was like, let me review this phone. You was like, let me get this phone.
I was trying to buy them even when the show closed, because, a lot of people don't know that when the show closes, you can go there the next day and buy stuff. I was trying to buy, and the ZTE people was like, nah, because some of the people from ZTE had seen my videos, and they were like, no, we're not getting any of those reviews. Oh, okay. I was like, now I'm going to have to buy your phone if it's crap, so I can really let people know what it is. And they were like, well, that's what you got to do. But even if somebody stonewalls me like that, if the product's good, I'm not going to be like, this phone is garbage just because someone didn't give me a phone. That's not
right.
But that's why. And the people that say that you guys were paid off, because, man, out of most of the tech reviewers, I will say this, and I don't have that many more followers than you now, Jay. You about to pass me. So,
nah, dude, you got like $70,000 almost.
Almost, but you're getting there. But so when people say that you were paid off, I'm like, man, get out of here. It's like, that dude, out of most of us that are in the tech community, probably has the most credibility out of anybody else that's in there. And I'm like, and now if you would have said like, oh, someone's paid off, okay. Like, well, me or the big homie or somebody else?
Yeah.
Because they could go look at our past or our history and be like, they might have took a check. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
But for them to say, like, especially you or some of the other people, come on, man. I'm like, God.
Yeah. I don't have anything to gain.
In the comments, Jay got paid off by ZTE. I'm like, come on, man. Get out of here with that.
I would have liked the check, though. It would have been nice, But I'm not going to turn it down. You know what I'm saying? I can buy more phones, but the reality is, those were loyalists, and I don't need to say who the people were. We remember what happened. You remember everything. Those were all loyalists to one brand. They thought that, you shouldn't be comparing that against the Galaxy Note, or it's not better, the battery life's not better. They slammed, but the fact is, those people are no different than the people who actually like the phones that are $30. Like, now, let me get your thoughts on this. People always hear me say, well, we're the minority when it comes to this tech stuff. There's more people buying phones that are $100 or less. How do you feel about that?
I will say this. The cheaper phones, to be honest, if you really look at it, and I said it this year with the Blade Z Max, that's another ZTE phone. Man, when I looked at that phone next to the Note 8, that phone has a lot of the same features that the Note 8 can do, with split screen and everything else. No, it doesn't have an S Pen. But there's a difference. When I ported a number, and I just ported some other phone number at the Metro. It was $30.
$30.
I got that $30 plus tax. Like, I don't care if that phone could have sucked, and I would have been like, "This thing is awesome." I paid $30 for the phone, and then it had a dual camera setup.
Yep.
Which, granted, they're not the best camera, but the stuff I was able to do, the fact that I could even have a portrait mode on a $30 phone. Oh man, you gotta be kidding me! Because I started reviewing food stamp phones a couple years ago, and you could go into Walmart and buy a $15 phone from straight, and it was straight trash.
Yep.
Now, you buy like that Huawei Elevator.
Oh, $65. Woo!
Are you kidding me?
Premium.
That phone, yes, it's not even 1080p, but like if I know I'm going out, like if I know we're going somewhere and we may be drinking or we may be doing whatever.
Yep.
Man. If I get into a wreck that evening and that phone gets
lost, broken, you don't care.
$5.
Yep, you don't care.
You know, man, that's why I was like, I can't. The phones. That's why when I see these $1,000 phones now, right? And that's why I skipped the essential phone until they dropped the price. I was like, nah.
I love that phone.
Nah, I was like, I can't do it. So now when you have phones now that are coming out that are sub $200, right? And they have some or all of the same features that you can get from a phone that's $1,000. These big manufacturers, okay, you might have sold some units, but the thing, my big thing to these manufacturers, and Apple don't listen to nobody, but Samsung might. But if you're Samsung, if you would have sold that Note 8 and their manufacturing price for that phone is $301. That's what it costs them, and the most expensive part is the Wacom display. Okay, so if it costs you $301, sell the phone for $599. You're making $300 of profit. I know that they pay for advertising, so let's say they only had $100 in profit.
Yep.
Do they know how many more units they would have sold at $599 as opposed to $949? They're out of their minds.
Yeah. They're the big dogs. They're the big names. Like Apple and Samsung are going to come with the high price first. And you know what?
Yep.
There's switching gears to the Pixel squad. So I know there's a lot of Pixel owners in here, and a lot of Pixel owners will listen. Pixel phones are expensive. The Google phones are expensive now. Google came out swinging, and they missed. Now,
RIP to all the Pixel owners. I'm sorry,
man. I just got mine. I was supposed to get mine on the 22nd or something like that.
Right.
But that's another thing. Pixel owners are loyalists. Like, and it's not a good or a bad thing. It's just a matter of if you like what you like. Like, shout out to LaShawn Manning. Everybody knows LaShawn. He's a straight up Pixel. This dude is Pixel to the end. He rocks with one phone and it's a Pixel at all times. Just like Albert rocks with a OnePlus at all times. But the Pixel...
I'll say, for a YouTuber, a Pixel's smart because of the unlimited storage.
That's right.
You're shooting videos and stuff. That's like an awesome deal alone. So I have the Pixel 2. I haven't started my videos will be going up on that this week. Yeah. But I canceled the order on the XL. Because of all the...
I canceled mine too. I went with the smaller one.
I went with as soon as I found out that it was Samsung that made the smaller one with an HTC build, I was like, give me that phone.
Yeah.
I'll buy that one. And I canceled the XL because when I saw it, my buddy at Verizon let me rock it for a day and a half. I did some videos in the desert when we were flying ultralights and stuff around out in Nevada, right? And... man, after I saw the report for it and I looked at it and I only had the phone for a day and a half. I saw the burn-in and then I had that green line crap on the side.
Yeah.
I didn't have the dead touch screen, but I was like, I'm gonna cancel the order. And then today comes out and they got touch screen issues. I was like, that Pixel 2 XL has just got so much bad press. And here's the thing, with Google, if that phone was $499, I probably wouldn't have hated on it or done a whole rant video on on Google and that phone. But at $850 and or more for that XL, no way am I going to co-sign a phone that has that many issues for that price. Google's out of their mind.
Yeah, it's there's a lot. The Essential phone to me was a better choice than my Pixel XL, and I've never gone on record and said that yet, but that's kind of how I feel about it. I know the cameras are the weak point for the Essential phone, but overall, for $400, man, come on, that's
the thing, because you can get it with if you just buy the Cricket Sim and
exactly
at Best Buy,
exactly,
and just use that for a month, as a
and toss
number or whatever,
or sell it. You can sell it to somebody. But hey, here's $35 for this whole setup. All right, I'll take it. It's always somebody wanted a good deal, But it's unfortunate that Google swung for the fence this time around, and they definitely missed, man. Pixel owners, no disrespect, but the Pixel 2 is where I ended up going with, because the Pixel XL 2, I was like, no way I'm giving $1,000 for that, man. No freaking way. I just can't do it. I can't do it.
No way. I couldn't co-sign it. And then here's the thing: it wasn't like people were like, "Well, you can afford it, TK. Why didn't you buy it? Why didn't you buy the B30?" And I was like, "That's like saying, yeah, you can afford the." When I bought the Mustangs, like I got the GT350 Cobra, and then I bought the Roush, the two Mustangs. And they're like, "Why didn't you just buy that P51 or whatever?" I was like, "Just because I can afford a $100,000 Mustang does not mean I'm stupid enough to buy one."
A Mustang for $100,000? No thanks. You get into like Lamborghini, you could buy an Aventador for that price.
Well, I just got I posted. It's been on Instagram.
Yeah.
I haven't had time to start I started TK's Garage, but I haven't had time to do videos. I did one intro video on the Gallardo. I bought a 2006 used Gallardo.
Oh, nice.
For $51,000.
Yeah.
I was like,
that's still a good buy though. That's a good buy.
It's not going to depreciate much more than that. I was like, I'll just sit on this. Like,
yeah.
I'll sit on this and do the typical YouTube videos with the Lambo. And get a bunch of views.
That's exactly what people. Some people like to live vicariously through, and maybe that's what it is about some of the other loyalists. Like on Twitter, something just happened. Like with me and some other people were talking, so I wasn't trying to insult him or anything. I called him envious, but it was about the iPhone 10. It was just making fun of the notch and all that stuff, and I was like, envious much, It was just a joke, though. It was just a joke because.
People get in their feelings so fast. It don't make no sense now.
Yeah, it was just a joke. It was my Project 13, and Jose Santana was talking, and Tony Pazzo was talking, and Tony was like, I don't even see that. Tony was like me. He was like, I don't even notice the notch after a while. He was like, there's an application, but I think somebody else was cracking a joke, and I was like, I call it envy because I think, and people could judge me. I don't really care, but I think a lot of people who trash phones that they don't have. Not just iPhone stuff and no stuff. There's people out there that are trashing phones that they don't have. Like literally, if you're just making a comment saying, "Well, I can afford that, but I don't know if I want it," that's different. But if you're going on record saying, "This is a stupid phone because so and so said," and I call that envy, man. That's another form of envy to me. Like you really want it, but you know you're not going to be able to get it or you can't get it, and that's not to put people down. That's not what I do. Everybody knows that's not what I'm about. But what is it?
You're from my area too. Are you from Jersey?
I'm
right?
Trenton. Yeah, Trenton.
So you know how it is up there.
Yeah.
Jersey. We just call that just hating because people you come through the block and I can remember when I had the XK Jag.
Yeah.
I'd be rolling through Brooklyn and people would just hate on you just because you're doing good and it was like, man, why are you? Like I don't understand people nowadays. It's just like they just hate just to hate instead of.
I don't understand it. I don't understand it, but
somebody or show some love to somebody, and that might that might rub off on you. I don't understand why hating gives people nothing. Like
nothing at all.
There's a difference between I gotta be honest, I do hate on OnePlus, but I don't hate on them for no reason. I hate on that company for how they treat their customers and everything else. But it's not. I don't just that dude's got the new whatever it is. I seen him rolling. Like if you was rolling through with one of your Chryslers or whatever, say, oh man, I'm hating on that. No man, I'm not. Good at that dude.
It's just fun to me. I like to have a good time and clown around first, but I just think it's crazy how some people, and I call them loyalists to whatever brand they like. Again. I'm a Samsung. I'm a strong supporter of Samsung. I have purchased so many Samsung phones, but I got a voice, and if I feel like Samsung Galaxy Note owners, most of them are clowns. At least the ones that come to my videos, not all of them. Respect to the Samsung Note owners who are mature adults, but I seem to get a bunch of jokers on my video who basically are on iPhone videos. That's why I posted on Twitter. Pro tip for Samsung Galaxy Note owners: stop watching iPhone 8X videos. Like, what are you watching them for?
It's like they secretly are envying that phone. Now watch, I'm gonna get a bunch of hate for it. But that's what it is, man. They like secretly are like, oh, it looks so nice. I wish Samsung would make. Come on, man, just stop hating. If Apple made a device, and that's the thing, like, my homie Floss is the same way too now. I mean,
Floss is crazy. Like, shout out to Floss, man.
Oh yeah, I saw you got to meet the big homie when you was up in the.
Yeah, we met up a couple times actually, but I don't post a lot of like people like take a bunch of pictures. I'm like, well, we cool and everything, but I ain't got time to be chasing around people. Hey, let me get a picture. Nah, man. Shout out to Floss and MKBHD and all those guys I talked to and kicking with. Ninja, Tech Ninja, Soldier Knows Best, kicking with all these guys, man. But me and Floss met up a couple different times, but yeah, the homies is cool.
On a serious note too, I know you're a heavy Christian and stuff too.
Oh yeah.
If you guys believe that way, prayers out to Kevin, the technician.
Yeah, I saw his situation, man, for sure. I saw his situation.
Yeah, so prayers out to him and his family, man, too. Cause that's devastating.
It's deep.
Yeah, man. You run into all these people in public, and people say the same thing all the time. Like, why don't you take pictures when you with all these people? And I'm like. I was like, because we're doing other stuff. Like... It
becomes weird after a while. Like, if you had a tech event, then that's different. You might snap a quick photo, but you don't got to, hey, come on, let me get another picture. That's weird, man. If you're a real... Like, men don't... I don't know.
Can I get a picture with you?
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, that's different.
Yeah. It's kind of strange, man, but it is what it is, man. It's cool, man. Well, man, I'm about to. This is I'm going on record. This is my longest pod. See, I can keep going, bro. I can keep. I think that's why I like podcasts. I gotta get you on the show, man. We gotta get you on the show, not as a call-in. I gotta get you on the show because I told Night Tech I wanted to have you and him on here at the same time. Because Night Tech like the battle, dude. He goes at it, right? I love a good debate. I'm guilty of that, man. I took debate in college. I love a good debate, not an argument. A debate. There's a huge difference. Yeah, there's a huge difference.
People don't know the difference.
Yeah, we still respect each other. It's just that we definitely don't have the same point of view on something. I love a good debate. So I told Night Tech, I said, I gotta get TK on here, man, so we can all chop it up. And I told him I wanted to try to get Forbes Tech because he's been kind of a regular on here with me. He had to work tonight, though. Shout out to Night Tech. He had to work tonight. So I told him, I said, man, I got to get you and TK on here at the same time because, dude, he's from New York too, so he love to battle, man. He loves to go at it, man. So I think that's gonna be fun. We'll try to set that up in the future, man, and get that set up because I like to hear a different opinion. I don't want everybody to agree. It just makes for a boring situation. You know what I mean? So, man, I think we've been on here.
I'll try to catch up with you guys too. I'll try to catch up with you. I missed y'all last time to CES. I got there.
Man.
I think I got into town the day I was leaving.
Yeah, we were leaving. This time though, we're actually going to be there for 2 full days, I think, or at least a day and a half at CES. So we'll definitely, hopefully, I'll be there until the 11th, I think it is, and it ends on the 12th. It ends on the 12th, I think it does, and I'll be there on the 11th. Or until the 11th. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll try to catch up with you while you're there. And I know everybody's crazy busy and stuff.
Oh man, people who've never been to CES think you can just bump into somebody. It's a gazillion people out there, man. It's a billion people out there.
They have no idea. Like I ran through the first day I got there. I was like, okay, Red Bull and Monster Up, and I ran through and I tried to video everything I could video. The first day and the second day, and then I ran into ZenoMax, and then that was it. I was shooting videos on tech stuff, and then I don't remember the next 5 days. But like people don't understand. Like CES is so crazy. It's just
you can't even put it into words, man. Like I was overwhelmed. I tried to do it all in one day, and see now. I got a different experience. I know what to do. Take my time and get to where I'm gonna get to whenever I get there. I'm not gonna be running through there like I was before. So you gotta go smooth.
You want to see
I gotta get that press pass so I can get it. I want to get into because Huawei gonna be giving away phones like they did last year. I'm trying to get my free phones up if I can get one. But if I can't, gotta buy it. You know how it goes down.
So are you guys getting in with an exhibitor pass? Or
Yeah, we got an exhibitor. We got an exhibitor pass.
Don't you got the website, the cell phone?
Yeah, but I didn't do one. No, I didn't. I want another trip through ZTE, so I didn't go that route.
Yeah, but you can still on the side, like you can still apply. And
I when I get to the thing to pick up my pass, I'll probably ask them then. Hey, look, here's my business card. This is me, and you know.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna try to see what's up.
If they let me in as press, they definitely let me in.
Yeah. You crazy, man. Oh my gosh, man. You're on the charts. Hopefully we'll be able to link up for at least an hour or so out there, because it's a madhouse at CES, man. It's way more difficult than what people think to run into people. It's so many people out there. It's unreal.
People think it's just one place. You got to go to like Mandalay.
Like 4 buildings.
You got to go like all across town to hit all these different things. It's like
it's crazy. It's off the charts. I thought we had mapped the whole place out, and they were like, "There's 3 other buildings over there." I was like, "What?" I was like, "Man, I'm about to get out." I was so tired, man. I was like, "I gotta go." I missed so much stuff. It was unreal. But we was only there for I think 1 day that time. So I think this time we're gonna do 2 days. Shout out to ZTE, man, for looking out, man. I appreciate the support that they give me on my channel and website and stuff. So that's all good. That's all love. That ain't no paid advertisement either. That's just me saying for real, thank you.
No, it's respect.
Yeah, I mean, I try to.
Looking out for. I love that the brands are looking out for smaller YouTubers.
Yeah.
You know, and support, like, cause you got guys like I don't know where Night Tech's at too, but.
Yeah,
man, you got to respect that. The fact that they're looking out for the people that actually, because I feel that the YouTubers that are under 100,000 subscribers in the tech field that have been doing it for a while, their voice is a little bit more valid to me than the 1.2 or 2 point something million subscriber tech channels, because they're not paid off.
Yeah, a lot of them probably, you know, they might be taking some checks, but I know I would love to get me I think even if I were to get like a paycheck for something, I'm still me. I ain't get ready to be lying about like, oh, this is fantastic. Now, in my real life, I can't do that. Like my personal life, I can't lie because I'm held to a different standard as a pastor.
Correct.
So why in the world would I go onto my YouTube channel and lie? Because people from the church look at the YouTube channel. So it's kind of, it won't do me any bigger than that. It's not even worth one lie. So, but if I were to get a paycheck and I start getting paid a lot of money on YouTube, I'm still going to be me. I mean, regardless of who I am at this point, I'm still from Jersey. I'm still the same dude from the streets who life changed around and got saved. That's all it is, man. I'm just choosing to take a different path, but I'm still me, man. I'm going to try to be as honest as possible. And you're right, though, because it seems like the channels that are smaller who are reviewing the phones for 500 or less, those seem to be a little bit. Those are credible, but you got people out there who think that the quote unquote smaller YouTubers are hating on the other YouTubers. But those people who say that, they don't know the business. You know what I'm talking about. They don't know the business. They don't know the real business about YouTube.
I run into some. I mean, you got guys like John over at Front Page Tech. You know, that kid's pulling down 6 figures, and his channel is just at 40,000 subs.
That's what it is. That's what it is.
It just all depends on what you do, how you market yourself.
Yep.
You know, I don't do it. I don't do it for money. It's a hobby for me.
Yeah.
But, you know, some people it's their livelihood, and I'm not mad. You know, when I see Lou from Unbox Therapy, and shout out to for any of y'all that see this later. No, I'm not Lou from Unbox Therapy. And they think Lou got another channel. It's like Lou's Savage channel. I'm like, no, man. That dude is Canadian. We're not the same person. Or you guys both sound like Kermit the Frog. I'm like, you're gonna have to give me a Kermit the Frog thing and start reviewing phones with Kermit.
Oh my gosh, man. He's Canadian? I know he's Canadian.
Yeah, Lou is from Toronto.
I did not know that, man. I didn't know that. I had no clue.
So,
well, this was a good podcast, man. We rocked out for 2 hours, man. I can't believe this. I love doing I think podcasts are more fun than live streams. That's just me.
It is. I think the interaction is way better.
Yes. There's hardly no trolls. Like, there's nobody here that's trolling. Everybody's here because they want to be here, and it's valid conversation. Right. That's so much better. That's why I launched the podcast. I was like, somebody was like, Jay, I can't watch your live streams a lot. Several people was like, you just streaming at the times where I'm working. if you would do something else, I was like, you know what, I'm going to start a podcast. And that's all it took. And there it is, man. I'm just going to stick with this podcast and ride the wave on out until I can.
And you mess around the podcast and end up earning more revenue.
I know, man. That's the funny part, man. You never know what you're supposed to be doing until you start doing it. And then you be like, oh, snap. You know, I should have been doing this. But I'm glad I got a retirement pension check, so I'm good. I'm glad I'm retired. Man, you have no idea. That's. I ain't making all that big dough on YouTube like people think. You know, they think.
No, I know. People like, oh, you make all this money on YouTube, and I'm like, no, my money doesn't come from YouTube.
Yeah, right.
Definitely don't come from YouTube.
Yeah, that's YouTube pays okay. YouTube takes 45%. I'm one of the people that'll tell you they take 45%. So, you know. It takes me about 3 months. I saved 3 months. I saved for 3 months to get the money for the Pixel. I saved another 4 months to get money for the iPhone. I mean, I got to save. You got to put $100 here, $85 here, $75, and then you got to do it. You got to do it because I like to pay for my phones right out. I don't like to do the financing and all that stuff.
Yeah, I don't do the financing. Yeah, I buy my phones.
Respect to people who do it, you know what I'm saying? But I just choose not to. I can't do it. I would rather have my phones unlocked right up so I can put them on my AT&T SIM card or my T-Mobile or my Craig. I want to move them around and stuff. So that's just where I'm at, man. Well, big shout out to TK, y'all, for dropping through and finally got you on. And next time I can get Night Tech, we'll have to coordinate, man, where all of us can be on together at the same time. And we're going to set this thing off, man. I sure appreciate you taking time. I know you said you're at the hospital, so respect, prayer to your family and everything. I hope everything works out for you. I know it will. But, yeah, man.
Man, I'm just getting old.
Yeah. Getting old. What do you think?
Getting old, got to start eating healthy. You know, they tell you can't have heart attacks when you're under 40. That's a lie.
Yeah, you can. You can have a heart attack when you're under 40. Yeah.
Yep, you keep eating that Denny's and then McDonald's burgers every day, you're gonna find out.
Yeah, that cholesterol will creep up on you, man, and that's why I try to stay in that gym, man. I try to work out as much as I can and eat as healthy as I can and keep myself going because, man, the medical thing, I take a lot of medication already. I don't get to my personal life, but I've had multiple surgeries and stuff like that, and it's not fun. It's not fun, so, you know, yeah, I definitely know what you're talking about, but I appreciate you calling in, brother, and we're gonna link up again, man. I gotta get you on the podcast. We're gonna have to make. We'll figure out something in the future, dude. We're gonna make that happen.
Hey, I appreciate you having me in, and this is a record in case anybody's listening.
Right.
It's the first time I've been on anything, and I ain't dropped no F-bomb.
That's the, you know what?
Jay might be rubbing off on me.
See, hey, that's a positive thing, man. That's a positive thing. Just imagine everybody really likes you, right? Like your followers really like you. You'll attract so many more people if you clean up a little bit.
I've been cleaning it up a little bit more on the channel. I don't know, but I've been using. I paid for this. I'll shoot you a DM. I gotta show you this thing where you can use a license because the music I've been using.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah. So now I let the music talk, and then I've just been. I haven't been passing out hot dogs on my stream or on my stream lately.
Yeah.
I'm not going to be doing that a lot moving forward.
Yeah.
Because I got contacted by a network.
Yeah.
To be like, yeah, if you do this, it might do blah blah blah. Like,
yeah.
I'll give it a shot. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah, they basically want you to change a few things, and they'll help you get back to get up over 200,000. You'll get to where you should be, I should say. Because, right. You know, a lot of people, I've told them, before we get out of here, I've told other people offline, not TK, I haven't told TK this, but I've told other people who ask me, well, what should I do about my channel? I tell them, listen, however you present yourself online is what a company is going to see, and you're not going to get any free products if people see you as bad. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And they just like... Yep. They just like, well, I mean, this is who I'm gangster. I'm like, all right, well, you be gangster, then you're gonna be working for nothing. You want to be on YouTube? You're not gonna get no free I mean, the ultimate goal is for you not to spend money on the things you're reviewing. If you're a YouTuber, right. You don't want to spend all this money on this stuff. You want to get review units. That's the ultimate goal. So people who say otherwise, they're not telling you the truth. And so if you want the truth, you can stop by my channel. I'll tell you the truth. I ultimately don't want to spend any money on this stuff. I want to get it all for free. so I can review it and send it back to them, or they can tell me I can have it. Shout out to LG for always letting me keep all their products. they just send me a phone like, here you go. But they didn't do that with the V30. I had to kick out the cash for the V30. It's all good though. No worries, man. Yep. So TK, man, I appreciate it, bro.
Sent me the T6, and that was the last. I think that's the last phone I actually got.
That's the last one I got from them too. They sent me all of their phones except for the V30.
Yep.
So I didn't get it. So it is what it is, man. I ain't mad at them. I still got love for LG. I'm cool with them. I'm cool with them. Well, get better, man. Stop eating cheeseburgers. Like I tell Anthony, my Project 13, I told him, I said, man, you 50 years old. We can't be eating no cheeseburgers and hot dogs and French fries all the time. Come on, man. Don't do that. You got to take care of yourself.
I start hitting the salad, and I always be in the gym anyway. But now I gotta eat right and go to the gym. So
definitely, because the gym workout is just a toning process. You have to eat right, so your body can have that energy. So yeah, man, that's a whole nother podcast right there. That fitness, I love the fitness joint, man. So yeah, you gotta stop eating cheeseburgers,
like TK. Hodgkin's twins type channel, and start doing the.
Nah, I'm good. Nah, I'm good. I'm straight. Maybe in my 20s I would have been doing that. I was benching 475 in my 20s, but now I can barely throw up 100 pounds, dude. I ain't trying to do that.
Somebody hit me in the DMs today. They're like, I saw on Instagram you benching those 3 plates, and I was like, dude, that was 2.5 years ago.
Yeah, no, that's not gonna happen. I'm not. I ain't got nobody to impress. I love my wife. She loves me the way I look, and that's about where I'm done. I'm just trying to stay healthy. That's it. That's all I'm trying to do. Stay healthy and then look at my granddaughters grow up, and that's it, dude. I'm trying to enjoy some life. YouTube is fun, but I will stop YouTube if I start to get bored and overwhelmed. I'm cutting it off. I'm stopping, dude. I'd rather have fun. It ain't gonna feel like no work to me. No way.
Yeah, I wouldn't do it. If it wasn't fun, I wouldn't do it.
That's right. That's right, man. So everybody in the stream, man, I'm going to let TK close out, but I'm going to go first. You can close it out, TK. Everybody in the stream, I appreciate you guys in the podcast for hanging with me for 2 hours, man. This is the longest podcast I've ever done. So if you're watching this on YouTube or you skipped ahead or you find whatever you're doing, it's your man Jay Will. Had a special guest from Brad and Susan, and I'm about to get out of here. We're going to let TK close this thing out.
Hey, man, I appreciate all y'all for tuning in. Make sure y'all sub to Jay Will's. Out of all the YouTubers that I watch a lot. I watch everybody. I watch MKPHD. I watch a lot, and I'm real critical on a lot of dudes that's on YouTube. I'm not gonna take shots right now, but I will say that out of anybody that I've watched or that I respect, and I've watched Jay's videos since he was around about 15,000 subs. I will tell you, out of anybody that you can watch on YouTube, it's one of the most credible dudes that you can watch on YouTube, and he doesn't have to do it like you see me or Floss or anybody else doing it with the extra. He doesn't have to be extra. He just gives it to you 100%. So, like I said, Jay, I greatly appreciate it. Thank you for having me in, and we'll get together soon.
Yeah, man, I greatly appreciate you calling. Remember, you're the bigger YouTuber, not me. I'm trying to get to your spot, dude.
Mark this day. Jay's talking to him, and 2 months from now, he's gonna easily pass where I'm at. His channel's exploding.
I appreciate those kind words, but he rolling up on $70,000, so he taking off. He got more money than I got too, so we all know. He got more money than I got, so hey, we're gonna leave it at that. But I appreciate y'all joining in the podcast, man. And TK, I appreciate you joining on the call, man. We're gonna link up in the future. Me, you and Night Tech for sure. And everybody in the podcast, all the replay crew, you guys are awesome, man. Thanks for making me get to this point and push hard and keep doing podcasts. And I'll see y'all next Tuesday. We out.